Okie dokie. Today we're going to talk about the myths and legends surrounding the catastrophic events that led to the downfall of Atlantis. We'll examine the various causes, such as massive volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, and earthquakes, and possibly even the idea of divine retribution. All right, let's do this. Volcanic eruptions were one of the dramatic forces often blamed for the destruction of Atlantis. Some myths describe these eruptions as the main culprits in the downfall of this legendary city. The sheer power of these eruptions was said to be so intense that they could obliterate entire cities in a matter of moments. The skies would turn dark as thick clouds of ash filled the air, blocking out the sun and creating an almost apocalyptic atmosphere. This choking darkness, filled with the smell of sulfur and the constant rumbling of the earth, represents nature's raw and terrifying power. All the technological advancements, architectural marvels, and societal progress of Atlantis were rendered meaningless in the face of such overwhelming natural power. Another popular explanation is that Atlantis was struck by a series of massive earthquakes. Tremors that were so powerful they split the ground open and caused buildings to collapse. This led to widespread destruction across the island. Such a disaster would have been terrifying and devastating, changing the landscape in an instant. These quakes not only destroyed the physical structures, but it also shattered the society's sense of safety and stability. The mythology surrounding these earthquakes emphasizes the raw and uncontrollable power of the earth. For the people of Atlantis, these earthquakes would have been seen as apocalyptic events, shaking the very foundation of their existence and marking the beginning of the end for their once great civilization. In ancient myths, the destruction of Atlantis is often described as a perfect storm of natural calamities. Among these, colossal tidal waves played a crucial role. The legends speak of massive waves towering like mountains crashing onto the shores of Atlantis. These waves were so immense that they submerged entire coastal cities in their path. Streets that were once filled with life were turned into vast, watery graveyards. Homes, temples, and entire neighborhoods were swallowed by the unforgiving sea. These tales often preface the tsunamis with other disasters like earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, creating a chain reaction of catastrophic events. The ground would shake violently, causing the buildings to crumble. Then, as if nature hadn't had enough, giant waves would follow, sweeping away what little remained. For the people of Atlantis, their proximity to the sea, a source of so much life and prosperity, turned into a fate-sealing vulnerability. The myths emphasize that no matter how advanced or powerful a civilization might be, nature's forces are beyond human control. The overwhelming power of the sea became a haunting symbol of how quickly and decisively a once great civilization could be erased from the map. The night sky was illuminated by a brilliant comet. It could have been an asteroid hurtling towards Earth. Some myths suggest that it was exactly a celestial event that sealed the fate of Atlantis. A fiery object crashes into the Earth with unimaginable force, setting off a chain of events. First, the heat and explosion causing massive fires that swept through the cities. Buildings, forests, and everything in their path would be engulfed in flames. The immediate impact would also trigger violent earthquakes, shaking the ground and leveling any remaining structures. Nothing would be left untouched by the tremors, causing any survivors to scramble for safety amidst collapsing ruins. But the disaster doesn't end there. The force of the impact would displace enormous amounts of water, generating colossal tidal waves, which would engulf the entire coastline. The towering walls of water would sweep over Atlantis, drowning cities and people alike, leaving nothing but a watery grave in their wake. The Atlanteans' own mismanagement and overuse of natural resources may have led to their downfall as well. The tales tell of a once great society that exhausted its own natural wealth that led to severe environmental degradation. As the resources dwindled, crop failures became rampant, leaving the population without adequate food supplies. The water sources began to dry up, causing severe shortages that further strained society. Without the necessary resources to sustain them, the Atlantean civilization faced widespread hunger and thirst, pushing them closer to societal collapse. But many myths frame the catastrophe as divine retribution for the Atlanteans' hubris, moral decay, and lack of respect for the gods. Accordingly, the Atlanteans became arrogant due to their advanced civilization and great power. They started to believe that they were invincible and untouchable. They ignored the higher powers they once revered, And this defiance and moral decay did not sit well with the gods. Angered by the Atlanteans' disrespect and corruption, the gods decided to send a series of devastating natural disasters to punish them. These divine punishments came in the form of earthquakes, volcanoes, and tidal waves that led to the sinking of Atlantis. The catastrophic end of Atlantis is also a metaphor for the broader concept that those who defy moral and ethical boundaries and who lose sight of their place in the natural order are doomed to face dire consequences. The downfall of Atlantis could also be due to the over-reliance on advanced technologies. According to the stories, the Atlanteans developed incredibly powerful devices and energy sources far beyond their time. Initially, these innovations brought prosperity and convenience, making Atlantis a marvel of the ancient world. However, as they became more reliant on their technology, caution was thrown to the wind. It is said that this overconfidence led to the misuse or malfunction of their technological wonders. Atlanteans may have had engines of immense power going haywire or energy sources that became uncontrollable, and these may have triggered the catastrophic events that were beyond human capacity to manage. The technology that once symbolized their greatness turned against them, causing the widespread destruction, making their downfall inevitable. Other tales of Atlantis say that internal conflict stands out as a significant cause of the civilization's downfall. The Atlanteans faced intense power struggles and political discord. Rival factions within the society constantly vied for dominance, causing deep divisions among the people and the leadership. This internal strife gradually weakened Atlantis from within, and the once strong society became fragmented with infighting that eroded the unity and strength that had previously characterized their great civilization. These internal battles left the Atlanteans distracted, draining resources and energy that might have been better spent defending against external threats or addressing other challenges. As the unity of Atlantis dissolved, the society became more vulnerable. This fracture made it easier for natural disasters to wreak their havoc unopposed. The lack of a cohesive response exacerbated the damage, leading to widespread destruction and ultimately contributed to their downfall. Now, when a society allows itself to be divided by internal battles, it weakens its foundation, making it susceptible to outside forces. This is relevant. This is super relevant for today. The myths remind us that for a civilization to endure, unity and strong cooperative leadership are essential. As we explore the myths of Atlantis, there are some intriguing accounts that suggest that the fabled civilization lost the favor of powerful entities or allies, both divine and mortal. This intriguing theory presents a unique twist on their downfall. In the stories, Atlanteans had enjoyed the patronage and protection of mighty gods and influential allies. Their society flourished under this favor, achieving advancements and prosperity that seemed almost mythical. Over time, Atlantis' people reportedly grew complacent and egoistic, taking their lofty status for granted. Whether it was a lack of reverence for their deities or betrayal of alliances, their actions led to estrangement from these powerful protectors. And without divine blessing or support of strong allies, Atlantis found itself vulnerable to the full brunt of nature's wrath and other supernatural forces. Natural catastrophes that were once kept at bay by their divine protectors descended upon the great civilization with renewed vengeance. The earthquakes, the tsunamis, and the volcanic eruptions unleashed the unmitigated destruction upon the land, destroying what was once a quote-unquote invincible empire. Even though Atlantean civilization faced a disastrous end, the story of Atlantis remains one of the most enduring myths in history. Atlantis represents a powerful society brought to its knees by a mix of nature's wrath and human errors. The legend of Atlantis reminds us that even the greatest achievements in human history are not permanent. The once great civilization, with its advanced technologies and impressive human feats, was ultimately no match for the forces that led to its downfall. This highlights the fragility of human endeavors and the importance of humility in the face of nature and the unknown. The story of Atlantis speaks of the timeless struggle between hubris and humility. The Atlanteans, in their pride, misused their resources and neglected the ethical dimensions of their actions. The result was a catastrophic end that continues to serve as a cautionary tale throughout the ages. And as the legend of Atlantis is passed down from generation to generation, the story keeps getting bigger and bigger, and it keeps reminding us of the important nature of our own societies. We need to strike a balance between progress and responsibility, urging us to avoid repeating the mistakes of the Atlanteans. All right, guys. Take care.
All right, that's all I got for today. Thanks for listening. If you like it, hit that subscribe button for us. If you don't like it, that's okay too. Other than that, have a great day.